You know, holidays just felt different back then. Slower, sweeter, like the whole town pressed pause and came together for something real. In the 1950s, the decorations weren't store-bought. The meals weren't microwaved. And the joy, that was homemade too. So let's take a little trip back to a time when holidays weren't about going big. They were about being together. Here are 10 American holidays that truly felt different in the 1950s. The 4th of July. Back then, Independence Day meant one thing. Everyone came outside. The parade rolled down Main Street with little kids on bikes, fire trucks honking, and someone always tossing candy from a float. After that, it was off to the park or someone's backyard for hot dogs, lemonade, and maybe a little baseball. And when it got dark, you didn't need a fancy fireworks show. A few sparklers, some firecrackers from the corner store, and the sky lit up just fine. It wasn't loud, but man, it felt alive. Thanksgiving, you could smell Thanksgiving before you even walked in the door. The turkey roasting, pies cooling on the windowsill, and someone mashing potatoes by hand. Grandma had her old handwritten recipe cards out, stained, creased, and full of love. Everyone gathered around the same table, dressed just a little nicer, holding hands before the first bite. It wasn't about TV or football or rushing out to shop. It was about being there. Halloween, in the 50s, you didn't order your costume online. You made it with whatever was lying around. An old sheet turned you into a ghost. A little makeup from mom's drawer, and boom, you were a cat. Trick or treating felt safe. You knew everyone who opened the door, and they knew you. You got caramel apples, homemade cookies, maybe even a popcorn ball wrapped in wax paper. And when the porch lights went off, you knew it was time to head home with cold fingers and a full bag. Christmas. As soon as that big Sears catalog landed on the porch, it was officially Christmas season. You'd flip through the toy section for hours, circling what you wanted in big red crayon. The tree was real, and so was the mess it made. Lights blinked, tinsel sparkled, and every ornament had a story. Cards came in the mail. People actually visited each other. And Bing Crosby was always singing in the background. It wasn't perfect, but it felt magical. Valentine's Day wasn't some fancy thing. It was simple and sweet. You made a showbox at school, covered it in red paper and too much glitter. Everyone handed out those little paper cards with silly puns and candy hearts that said, "Be mine." There were cupcakes, punch, and maybe a class photo with everyone smiling except that one kid with frosting on his face. No pressure, no fancy dinners. Just a good excuse to be kind. Easter Sunday was a big deal, especially when it came to getting dressed. Little girls wore new dresses and Easter bonnets, and boys got their hair slicked down with water whether they liked it or not. You'd head to church early, then come home for an egg hunt in the backyard. No plastic eggs, just real ones you dyed yourself the night before at the kitchen table. And if you were lucky, the Easter bunny left a chocolate rabbit in your basket, with ears already nibbled. Memorial Day. In the 1950s, Memorial Day wasn't just the start of summer. People remembered. You went to the cemetery, left flowers, and stood still during the moment of silence. The parade wasn't flashy, it was respectful. Flags waved slowly in the breeze. Then later, families got together for a picnic, but the day still felt sacred, like we hadn't forgotten the reason. New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve was cozy, not crazy. Families gathered in the living room, played games, and tried to keep the kids awake till midnight. You watched the ball drop on a fuzzy black and white TV, and when it hit zero, you clinked glasses, soda for the kids, something stronger for the grown-ups. No confetti cannons or flashing lights. Just hugs, laughs, and a hopeful look toward the year ahead. It wasn't loud, but it felt right. Labor Day. Labor Day was your final chance to soak up the sun before school started. You went to the lake, grilled hot dogs in the backyard, or just laid in the grass and looked at the sky. There were no big sales, no traffic jams, no Instagram posts. Just one last barefoot walk before the leaves turned. It felt like summer's goodbye, and we made it count. Friday fish fries. If you grew up Catholic in the 50s, you knew what Fridays in Lent meant. Church basements turned into fish fry central, fried cod, coleslaw, and trays clinking down long tables. The whole community showed up. You saw the same faces, told the same jokes, passed the same salt. It wasn't fancy. It wasn't trendy. But it brought people together, and that was the whole point. You look back on it now, and it's not that the decorations were better, or the food, or even the music. It was the feeling, the people, the togetherness. If any of this stirred a memory for you, something warm, something soft, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear your holiday story.